Can I ask one question? They had dogs.
So some of you may have to click OK for me to record it.
Or got it.
Or got it or something. I don't. Okay, I'm going to turn the time over to Lavanda. Lavanda is from Hawaii and she volunteered to do this for me. And I'm really thrilled that she's doing it. And she's going to talk about some gardening things and I'm going to let her talk about it. I did meet her. I went to their state conference here, BC, which means before COVID. Doesn't mean, you know, biblical. So it means BC. So Lavanda, I will turn it over to you.
Okay. All right. Hi, this is Lavanda, and I'm glad to be on this because this is a project that I have to do in October for our council or our state, because I'm one of the chairmans for the health. And so when Scott asked for volunteers, I thought, well, maybe I should try it, you know, and practice. And practice makes perfect because I've never done a PowerPoint and I've only done one virtual meeting and this is my second. So this is kind of like a big one. But anyway, let me switch now. Can you see the first screen now?
Yeah, you want to go to a slideshow and put.
Oh, slideshow, okay.
Yep. And then go from beginning.
From the beginning, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
I just don't see myself. This is so funny. I usually see myself. Okay, now.
I see you over in the corner there.
How do I move it now?
You want your picture?
Okay,
There you go.
Wait, I want something else. How do I go back?
Use your arrows, and it'll go back.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Okay. Well, this is why I'm practicing. So please excuse the errors, you know. But anyway, when we were told that we had to present a project, and I said, shoot, what am I gonna talk about, you know? And so I volunteered again to be the last person in our council to do the project, so I could see what everybody else was doing. But then I came across Blue Zone, which is very a community project on our island. And it came up and I came across this 7 easy to grow plants for beginning gardeners. Now, I'm sure everybody has done some gardening in the past or still continue to do this, but we started doing this as a family because during the pandemic, there's so much time on our hand, you know, and my daughter wanted to explore and try gardening. So that's what brought this or came to my mind on the 7 easy to grow plants for beginning gardeners. And this is again from Blue Zone. So here we go. So instead of searching for the fountain of youth, maybe Ponce de Leon should have spent his time looking for the garden of youth. Research shows people with day gardening live longer, healthier lives. Studies show a session spent digging in a flower bed is an uplifting as structured exercise. Soil microbes contain antidepressant properties, and a healthy dose of vitamin D improves your mood. And I thought this was a good way because, you know, besides doing physical work, you know, your spiritual part of you improves as well. But successful gardening requires a certain level of skill. A garden that fails to thrive can have a negative effect. And we want to be sure to keep a positive effect throughout our whole life, yeah? And one way of doing it is, you know, gardening, creating feelings of inadequacy or failure. Aspiring gardeners would be well advised to start with a few plants that are hardy and undemanding, building a foundation with these 7 starter plants. So the first starter plant was beans. Oh, how do I, wait. Oh, here we go. So the first one they suggested was beans, and there are only 2 types of bean plants, which I kind of forgot, you know, and it's pole or bush. And when we were growing up, my father was a gardener as well, and he just loved to plant vegetables, and beans was one of the vegetable that he did. So beans varieties run the gamut from slender haircut verts. These are thin green beans favored in France, or regular green beans, too big burly favas. But there are only two types of bean plants, the pole or the bush. So if you if you have a small space, then maybe a bush, in a pot is fine because we've been doing that. And then pole beans are climbers that need a trellis or some sort of support, while bush beans are self-supporting. A dozen bean plants given ample sunlight and adequate water can produce enough beans for a family of 3. Harvesting mature beans daily will ensure a higher yield, and any beans left on the plant can be picked later for seeds or dry beans. But best of all, legumes naturally fertilize the soil, paving the way for more beautiful future gardenings. My son is planting beans too, but my grandson doesn't wait until it matures. He likes the young beans. And I thought, well, maybe that would be good because, when you go to the store, you see the beans look kind of old, and if 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 we grow our own, then we'll have fresh beans and for a week or so, But that is one. Oh, the next plant is the leafy greens, and research shows gardening boosts mood as much as exercise. And that's true because when we started growing our vegetables, we would look at you know it growing and maturing, and then be able to use it as part of our diet. But it gave you a more positive attitude, and that attitude keeps you healthy as well as physically. But I'm always uh base this on your spirit. Keep your spirit positive, and you'll have a happy and long life. And that's what Blue Zone is all about as well. So then the next item, oh, sorry, the next item is tomatoes. This is another favorite of ours to grow. It's so easy to grow. You just watch the plant mature and you see the flowers coming. And if you see the flowers, then you know there's going to be a tomato. So homegrown tomatoes taste better than those from the grocery store. And they do. It's often repeated and always true. Homegrown tomatoes taste better than those from the grocery store. We like we like Roma tomatoes. They are thick of the outside, sweet inside. Unlike store-bought tomatoes, the fruit from a home garden will have ripened on the vine instead of in the truck. And that means better flavor, texture, and nutritional content. Tomatoes are also giving plants that give generously and demand a little bit more than sunshine and nutritious soil. So now the next one is the edible flowers. I'm not too much into edible flowers because I'm not sure, you know, if I'll pick the right one, or but they're pretty to just have it in your garden. And this is home gardening was among the top 5 activities in terms of how meaningful an activity felt to people while engaging in it. When choosing when choosing future well-being projects to fund, we should pay just as much attention to the household gardening. A few cities have conducted pilot household gardening projects with promising results. For an example, a project operated by the Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens in Pittsburgh provided participants with materials and training to start a garden at home. In 2017, three years after the project began, 70% of participants were still actively gardening. So if, actively gardening can mean, you, like Dawn said, she's downsizing, so she might not be doing any more gardening anymore. But you can have like a small garden or potted plant with one type of plant that you like, you know, and then these items here, I think generally the plants here is for those that they know that it's going to be, well, when you plant a garden, make sure you plant something you like, you know. If you're going to eat the vegetables, then make sure you choose the vegetables that you like, because then there will be less waste, yeah. And if you have like the beans, if they're in abundance, well, you can always share it with your family and friends. So there's always ways that you can do as far as not wasting any food. Yeah. So the next one is the herbs. Now this is my favorite because it's rich in antioxidant, but my husband also uses loves to grow herbs. So his favorite is thyme, rosemary, and bay leaf. Usually the bay leaves are used in the soup, and whenever we have meat or steak, he usually likes to use the rosemary and the thyme. And then and I tried, Bonnie, I tried to get him to, save some of the herbs, like how you had it done in your lesson, how to store them, or if you're not using it all, how to, preserve it. Yeah. But his thinking is that when he uses the herbs, they need to be fresh. So he doesn't like to have anything dry, but I'm still working on that. So um, the few plants are as easy to grow and as rich in antioxidant as culinary herbs. The same oils that give them their distinctive flavors also deliver significant health benefits. So the Mediterranean herbs such as oregano, marjoram, and thyme can tolerate hot, dry conditions. Tender herbs like basil and cilantro thrive in containers. And parsley and dill are tolerant of many different soil conditions, and mint proliferates in the shade. Herb gardens are easy to begin on your kitchen windowsill. Leave them there or transplant them outside when you're ready. So we've done several of that here at our home. My husband likes to change my potted plants in our house, so he'll bring the herbs in, and then he'll take it back out to get the sun, and he'll bring another set of pots with all the different herbs, and he'll put it wherever he feels like it. But it can be a nice potted plant as well. So here's the several ways that you can plant them. It doesn't have to be um, in a potted jar. It can be in these mason jars here, and the way they have it set up is really nice because you can put it on your windowsill or on your counter, and you'll have all the chives available: chives, mint, oregano. We have chives, but ours is more green onions. That's what I have for the. Um, we're trying to grow sage as well. That's only because my great granddaughter's name is Sage. So we have squash. The squash, we've tried growing squash here, but there's a lot of bugs that seem to attack the squash. And anyone with a sunny spot in a little space can grow squash. And we do have here in here, but we just have to uh, watch out for the bugs. And even their blossoms here are edible. And this is good for community gardens, as I know, for their social benefits as well. So you can have a garden at home, however big you have, or whatever space you may have. You know, it doesn't have to be big, but you'll always find a space for that. And then they also have community. When we were growing up, we had a lot of, we lived on a plantation, so there was a lot of community gardens, and they would grow everything they can think of, you know. And that was something that I kind of missed. So this kind of, with the starting all over again, kind of brought back memories from when I was growing up, and we had like gardens full of um, peanuts, beans, you know. Sweet potato was one of our favorites here in the island, and we used to visit our grandfather in Waimea, which is the colder area for this island, and he would have rows and rows of strawberries, you know. So we would go through the whole field just eating strawberries, and he had like peaches and other fruits, and that was fun during those days. Yeah. Now this is the 7 potatoes. I mean, the number 7 is potatoes, but I don't have any space for that. So probably out of all these 7 vegetables here, I'll probably be doing at least 5 of them. And this one, my father used to plant sweet potatoes, so we used to dig up the earth and then lay the plant and then wait for it to grow, and there it was. There was our sweet potatoes. So, and you, it says you don't need a green thumb, but sometimes I think I do, because I tend to kill my plants. So we always have to bring it back to our, if we see it die, we take it to my husband, and he brings them back alive, you know, he revives them. So, but this is probably one of the hardest ones to grow, but it doesn't fail. Yeah. So, don't, I'll summarize this, and don't get discouraged if your early efforts fail flat. Starting off with any of these 7 easy forgiving plants is a way to avoid disappointment. You don't need a green thumb to create your own blue zone region in your backyard or kitchen garden. Just a little patience and a bit of cooperation from nature. The effort spent on creating and maintaining a garden yields more than tasty products. Cultivating a garden habit is a way of increasing your quality of life. And that's it for my uh, lesson for the day.
Okay, why don't you stop sharing the screen?
Okay.
And
The screen.
now we
So,
can see everybody.
okay.
And you might
Well,
ask if anybody's got questions or comments.
Uh-huh.
I have one.
Uh-huh.
I'm Linda May. You just talked about potatoes. Several years ago, I bought a large bin from Gardeners, and that's where I did my potatoes in. That was mainly the reason why I had bought it. It worked fine.
It worked fine.
Yeah, you just
Oh.
and it didn't take, it was just like a big pot, except it was tall so that you were able to layer, and instructions came with it. So, and that's an idea if you wanted to do it and you don't have space.
Yeah, I don't have the space, but that would be a good idea. And you got it at the gardening store?
No, it's called Gardeners, and it's a catalog, and I buy a lot of stuff from them.
We always, sorry, Lavanda. We always used to plant our potatoes in hills, same as pumpkins and everything like that. So we get this nice mixture of horse manure and dirt and stuff. And then they were up and covered. The potatoes never got sunburned. That green cast that you get on them is because they get the sun, and they don't want the sun on the potatoes. So the hills were good because you could keep covering them with loose soil and stop it from them from getting sunburned.
Probably
They,
make them
they are
smaller, yeah.
easy peasy. You just put them in and they grow. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
What you call, I probably like the idea in the box, and I'll keep it contained, yeah. Because you know, we have a little vermins over here, you know. We have the mongoose, the birds, you know. So maybe we this would be a good idea for the gardeners, yeah.
What island are you on, Lavanda? I didn't hear that.
Big island, island of Hawaii, the volcano island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
So this was a good family project that, you know, we started to do during the pandemic, since we had a lot of time on our hands, and everybody down to the little baby was, you know, getting involved. And then you don't have to plant vegetables. You can plant flowers if you love flowers like I do. I finally got to repot my orchids, and now they're starting to bloom. I mean, not bloom, but they're starting to mature. Eventually, I'm going to have more than at least maybe 6 buds. That's more than I had before. I was lucky if I get one orchid a year. So that's how much time I had on my hands. And these plants I've had it for like years, you know, and I never did anything to it. But you know, it's something that you can do, you know, and watch it grow, and it just keeps your mind and your spirits up. And that's part of your health, yeah. Besides, you know, trying to um, uh, keep your physical health, yeah, but your spirit as well. Yes, Lena.
Linda May, I found my latest catalog. It's Gardeners, GARDENERS.com, and they'll send you a catalog.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll do that. Hopefully they'll send things to Hawaii, because
I'm pretty sure they probably will, but
Oh, okay.
you'll find out.
yeah. I'll share this with my daughter, because she's the one that's got us all into the you know, growing the plant the garden, because she wanted to plant some vegetables like that. Yeah.
I even get netting from them that covers. In fact, when we had this terrible heat, I had to cover some of my plants that I didn't want to burn up. And so I've got covers for them. It's a white netting.
And does that protect the bugs too?
Yeah, yeah. They've got all
Okay.
kinds of stuff. I mean, they'll give you a lot of ideas anyway.
Yeah. Well, because we were trying to plant cucumbers, and then all of a sudden this white moth started appearing on the cucumbers, and then, you know, it started to get worms. And so we thought about the netting, you know, get the netting and put it over that. That's why I didn't want to do squash or something like that, because of the bugs that we have. Yeah. So, but the netting would be good, you know, or maybe they have those socks, yeah, that you can put it on the vegetable.
Here, have a sock of cucumber.
Yeah, just to protect it, so at least we can eat it.
What was the name of the magazine again?
Gardeners, GARDENERS.com.
Okay.
It's also got garden ornaments and things in it, doesn't it?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
it
yes,
does.
I love that.
It has everything in it. Yes. You can spend a
You
fortune
have
if
in
you
the
want.
bathroom. Good reading.
Yeah.
In Kansas, in our program year of 2012, we had a lesson entitled Edible Flowers from the Backyard, written by Jean Rowland. And she was also not only a member, but also an Kansas State University extension agent. And she talked about flowers such as lavender, the lavender buds. You can make lavender shortbread cookies. I can't think of all the flowers, but one of them that stuck in my mind was roses. The rose petals can be added to a salad as long as the roses did not have any pesticide or insecticide used on it or fed to it while they were growing up. developing. But
Mhm.
there's a whole list.
Somebody's trying to talk. The one with on the phone. We can't hear her. Marsha, I think. It's Marsha, I think. Well, I have lavender, because we like the scent of that, yeah. So we have a big lavender bush. And then we didn't realize that after a while we saw the flowers. So you can eat that, you said?
Yes.
Oh,
We have lavender farms in Bennington, well, quite a few places, but Bennington, Kansas, they do online sales. They raise acres of lavender plants, various species, and they harvest them to make lavender oil, lavender, edible lavender buds for spice rubs, meat rubs, lavender soap.
and the lavender is good because it calms you. It just,
Yes.
it's a calm,
Mhm.
yeah, it has a
Just
calming
if you're
effect.
not allergic to it, that's not.
Yeah. Oh, and I never thought anybody was allergic to lavender.
Yeah,
Never can tell the pollen. Yeah.
it's the smell it gets to me, and my eyes tear up and I get swollen and I sneeze, and it's absurd.
It's
That
too
happens
bad.
to me too. That happens to me too. So I can only handle so much. Yes, Linda.
Did I see coins in the jar garden?
Yeah, they had coins or buttons or those little clear marbles, yeah.
Yes.
But it doesn't need to have dirt, for the herbs, yeah. But it's kind of nice just having them there. Plus, this every once in a while you can just run your hands on it, if and just get the scent, yeah. Like we have a big bay leaf tree, so and it's huge. I didn't realize how huge the bay leaf tree can get. But we use that, or some of my friends ask for bay leaf, so I'll just give them a whole branch.
In Kansas, I have to be sure if I'm planting mint that it is in the container.
I know it goes wild.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, that's what they said. But then that might help the mosquitoes around my house, I was thinking. And so and and then we have that. We also, well, we have the herbs. I have my orchids, and I love to talk to them. My orchids, and let me see. We have. Oh, my husband grows vanilla, so he likes to dabble in that. And it grows wild, so you have to watch. You have to make sure that it doesn't grow on your trees, because it does that. And then you have to make sure you bring it down to level, because you need to cultivate not cultivate, but pollinate the flowers, yeah, for the vanilla. So he has that. But like besides the rosemary, we have rosemary and a rosemary bush. But that's about it. So any more questions or any other ideas? So you can start small. You don't have to go big. Just choose something that you like. And if you like the herbs, then go with that. If you like just a potted flower, something that, lifts your spirit up. You can look at them and say, oh, okay, I feel better now. That kind of thing. So
Rosemary, you said something about rosemary, and I just had to replant after about 30 years. I had a rosemary bush outside my back door in a barrel, a big barrel.
Yeah.
And it survived all those years, and finally it gave up the ghost, and I just put a new one in. I don't think I'll be here or be around for that many years, but maybe somebody else would like to have it when I'm gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because whenever we passed by, was going towards our car, I would always run my hand on the bush, because it had that nice smell.
Smell it all year round.
Yeah, all year round. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun to do these things. as a family, but we could probably as well spread it out to other people, you know, and be more sustainable, you know. That'll help us because during the pandemic, there were so many things that you really couldn't get. I don't know about you folks, but for us, it gets a little harder. Yeah, we didn't have vegetables, or certain vegetables didn't come in, or we had trouble finding herbs, or that kind of stuff. So we decided, well, maybe we'll just grow our own, that we like, and so that's how that was one of the reasons why we did it too. But that's all I have for my presentation. Thank you so much for letting me use you as my guinea pigs. I have to give this again in October, but I'll probably, but practice makes perfect.
It does. And I appreciate you, Lavanda, being there. And Lavanda actually went on the other day. We got on the other day and practiced a little bit. And she's never shared a screen before. So that was a new opportunity for us. And, we learned all kinds of things. So does anybody else have any questions for her? Well, I have a question, and I mentioned before, our next meeting will be August the 4th, which is a Wednesday, 10 o'clock Oregon time. And Lavanda, she got up and she started this morning at 7 o'clock. So it's 7:30 in Hawaii. So some of you guys that complain about it, Bonnie didn't end up having her meeting. She was supposed to have one.
That was good.
She was supposed to have one at 4 o'clock Oregon time in the morning, but she didn't get it. So is there anybody that would like to volunteer to teach a lesson in August? Or do you know of someone that is just that super teacher? If you'd give me their information, I'd be willing to call them.
And he will do everything,
I do everything but the lesson.
Yeah, everything but the lesson, yeah.
And I've got a couple other lessons, but you don't want to listen to them. I'm going to try to get Faye to do one after conference, the one you have on Oregon, because she's got a really good one worked up there.
Yeah.
Maybe in September or something like that.
Oh, okay. Wait, when is our conference? When is it? Oh, July.
July 30th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so by the way, so the applications went out already, the registration forms?
They went out today, I think. They went out on an email today. They're also on the website. So you can go get, and basically you need to send them to Judy, and then Judy will send you the link. And I'm going to let you guys in on it. If somebody just gets in real big trouble and they can't, if you can't get the link or something like that, contact me or Bonnie, and we will get it to you, because I don't want anybody to get lost in the shuffle.
Scott, I had something come a couple of days ago, I want to say last week, and I edited the form and emailed it back, return email, which I think they said to do, but I got something this morning that made me think maybe I hadn't been successful. Did that one that said to email, you could email it back, where did that go? Did you get it?
It actually goes to Judy at headquarters.
Okay, so hopefully
in Kentucky. And whoever's on the phone, I think it's Marcia. Are you trying to say something?
I think the forms all just came out this morning.
This is what the form looks like.
So I just filled that out. I edited it and sent it back to the sender, whoever it came from. So hopefully I'm online and in the list. So
I think you're right, Scott. They just came out this morning. I just saw it. We talked about it at our meeting yesterday, and nobody else had gotten it. So I think that's the story.
Well, I cheated.
I'm on Scott's special email.
I sent.
I got it earlier.
I sent them out to all the Oregon members, and actually the first one The first one, the email address for the national headquarters was wrong. So Don,
Oh,
you might check on that. You
I
might
might
refill it
check
out and
that
send it in again.
Yeah,
Because Bonnie forgot to put the C in there.
in that weird,
Email.
weird email address.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I just got mine too this morning. I just got confused because my husband is with the archery club and it's NAFA or NFA, no, NFAA. So when I saw N, I just took it as NFAA, but it's NAFCE. Oh my God.
So if you don't get the link before a day or two before, please contact me and I will make sure you get it. Either myself or Judy at headquarters. Judy is not in on Fridays. They're going to try to get her to come in on Friday because that's the day of the conference. And please remember to adjust for the time zone. It's for Hawaii, it starts at 5 in the morning.
Why?
Oregon, it starts at
Don't
8.
they have a replay?
Well, I'll record it. I'll
Watch it,
record it so
watch it.
everybody can see it. And for Peggy, it'll be your time. So, all right.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Faye, do
Thank
you want
you
to stick
very
around
much,
for a minute?
Lavanda.
Bonnie,
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
you bet.
Thank you, Lavanda.
I still have a lot to practice though.
Oh, you did great.
Well,
Thank
you
you.
can practice anytime, get a new lesson and we'll listen.
Okay, let's give her a thumbs up for it.
This is more
Very
fun.
good.
Thumbs
Okay,
up for
thank
it.
you.
All right, there you go.
Good.
See all the thumbs up. Oh,
Bye.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
So Faye, if you want to stick around for a minute, Bonnie, you and I can talk for a second about
Okay,
our little presentation.
okay.
So there you go. Anyway, Faye, I think they want us to do a thing on there, and I have it's very short. It's only got like 5 slides and then a video on Welcome to Oregon, and you probably remember me showing it before. So I'll just change the dates and stuff on that. I'll need about 6 or 8 minutes on that. And then I know she wants you to do something on that thing that you did there. How much time do you want on it?
The lesson will be probably pretty short. I have not developed a PowerPoint presentation as of yet, but I will need to do so by the end of the month for our state training. You read the lesson material and the recipes. There's a leader's guide and then a member handout with the recipes.
Yeah, I think Bonnie, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's only looking at maybe 10 or 15 minutes total on this.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do, I'll
If I talk slow and add a lot, it could be 15.
What's that? Well,
If
it
I
needs to be
talk slow-
it needs to be my time too.
I'm sorry.
It needs to be a total of whatever time we use. So I'll need 6 minutes.
Oh, Faye, I think one thing she wants is for you to give maybe a brief synopsis of what you've done in the lesson. Excuse me. And then her idea is that after the national conference, that your full lesson be given on this format that Scott set up.
Okay.
So how's that go?
Oh, boy. Okay.
Okay, so
Lesson's done.
well,
I,
we're gonna meet,
you know,
we're meeting tonight.
you've done so much research. I would just, I'd highlight everything that you think is really important in your lesson and give everybody a plug so that they'll attend it when you give it on this format.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so how much time do you think you need? 10 minutes?
Let's do 10 minutes.
Okay, why don't you plan on about 10, because we're meeting tonight with the board, the national board. This is only our first Zoom meeting today, and then I got a state board meeting at noon, Oregon time. So in about a little over an hour, we're gonna have another meeting. We got some things going on we just gotta take care of. A very short one, but anyway, so we'll give you about 10 minutes. I'll tell artists we need 16 minutes.
Okay.
All
Now,
right.
what is the July 21st meeting?
July what?
July 21. Is that a board meeting?
You're
National
muted,
board
Bonnie.
meeting?
Are you running for a national office?
Yes.
Okay, then that, she wants all of the people that are running for a national office to attend that also. I believe that's the one.
Okay. Do I have to do anything for that?
I think just be there.
Okay.
I think she just wants the new board people just to kind of know what's kind of going on the conference. Well, no, I'm not a little nervous. I'm a lot nervous about it. Because the other day we lost internet, we lost total cable here for about 4 or 5 hours the other day. And if that goes down, I don't know what we're gonna do, because it was for all of Klamath Falls.
Oh,
So, matter of fact, I think I might be able to do a hotspot on it. I'll have to figure it out. I'll figure it out. Anyway,
you
all
didn't
right.
lose internet today.
What's that?
You did not lose internet today.
No, we didn't. And we don't that's the first time it's happened in years. But it would be just my luck it happened that day.
You'll
I
be
love-
ready.
I love your background, by the way.
I'm sorry.
I love your virtual background.
Mount Everest.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Mine's
Our
Mount McLaughlin.
family went on a family tour. My husband, myself, 3 daughters, and 2 son-in-laws went on a tour in 2019. We went first to New Delhi and then to Taj Mahal. Then we flew up to